Hey there, friend. Welcome to Create Conversations. This podcast is designed to connect you with entrepreneurs and creatives from across the country and sometimes around the world. When I was first starting my business, I really didn't have that sense of community to connect with, to bounce ideas off of, to really know that I'm going the right direction or was doing something right. That's why I created this podcast, to give you that community in hopes that it can inspire you and drive you forward through your entrepreneurial journey. So without further ado, let's create some conversations. Hey there, friends, and welcome to the first episode of Create Conversations. I'm so excited that you guys are here, and for this first episode, I can't tell you how excited I am right now. So I decided for this first episode, we just sit and chat and you get to know me a little bit if you don't already know me, and we'll talk about why change can be good in your business or whatever stage of life that you're in. So I'm Vanessa, if you don't already know, and I am a branding and influencer photographer in Nashville. So it's been a long journey to get here, but kind of the cliff notes of this whole thing is that I've always loved photography. It's been a passion of mine for a really long time, and I didn't really dive into it more technically and think of it as a business until I was actually in college. I have a graphic design degree, and as a part of that degree, my college is like, well, you can't be a one-trick pony, you need to learn more. So I went on and decided to do photography, and I completely fell in love with it. Just pulled all of my roommates who are dancers, all my friends who were in theater, and decided to take pictures of them. And that was kind of like a fun aspect of my college career, really not thinking about it as a business at all. And it wasn't until I got like my first real job in the city of Milwaukee, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to climb the ladder. I'm going to do the things. And I was bored. I was bored out of my mind. And it felt like what was missing was that photography, that fun outlet that I had for so long in college. So then I went forward and I was like, all right now I'm going to make this a business. Started doing that while I was still at that job. I don't recommend that at all. But I got my work done really quickly and efficiently. So I was just like, all right, let's do things. So I photographed a lot of my family, and I kind of went on the route that a lot of photographers go to, which are weddings, seniors, families, that sort of thing. And I liked it because that's what was needed, and I was always with my friends or my family, so I felt really comfortable with them, and I started to kind of build that business, but I really wasn't taking it seriously until probably exactly 3 years ago was when I really took it seriously. I established myself as an actual business and went forward to try to be a wedding photographer, really having no idea where I was going. I worked with a lot of other photographers in the area, and it ended up that my life took me to Nashville, and I was like, okay, I'm going to build it here. I'm going to do all the things. I'm going to have a senior rep team, and it's going to be great. When I got here, things kind of took a turn. It got to a point where it felt like I was living someone else's life. Not to say that I hated my wedding clients, I hated my senior clients or anything. Nothing was really working here, or I wasn't getting any traction. It felt like I was doing everything and nothing was working. I was doing everything that everyone else was doing and nothing was working. And that may have been my problem because I was doing what other people were doing, not what I should be doing. So after a while of figuring things out, I went to Creative at Heart. I did a lot of research and tried to figure out what was my passion, what got me into photography originally. And it was the connection with people and working with people and getting excited about their passion and showing their true, wonderful selves, beautiful selves within their photos. So I ended up taking that and turning it into branding photography and influencer photography because I could do so many things within one category. And that's kind of the thing. I wanted to do all the things, but in the industry now, they want you to be very specialized. So I could still be specialized, but still do like wedding type portraits if I work with a bridal salon, or do senior type portraits if I have an influencer who likes those types of close-up portraits, or do just like fun different things. So that's what brought me here to branding photography, and I really want to talk about why change is good. So for me, this change felt so right, and it felt like the perfect thing for me and my business, because I felt stuck in a rut. Nothing was working. I had another job. I had a full-time job. I still have a full-time job. And I was like, nothing's really working. I want photography to be my full-time job, but nothing's really working. And I feel like this is kind of a fail that I got here in Nashville, and nothing's really working. So when it finally clicked to make this transition, I'm like, yep, this is what I need to do. And it was just like cold turkey. Here we go. This is what we're doing. And honestly, it has worked out so well, because I felt like I found my true calling, and being able to share it with all these other entrepreneurs that I've already connected with, and I can already see a need for them. So why can't I help them and fulfill all the things that they need? So that's how change was good for me, because not only did it help my business, because it has grown that much more since I decided to change, which was back in the beginning of June. I decided to change, June 2019. I decided to change, this entire shift in my business, and things have exploded. I decided to prioritize what's actually really important. And as I mentioned, I went to the Creative at Heart conference at the end of June in 2019, and that was probably the best experience ever. You'll probably hear me talk about that all the time, and I'm sorry, but it is a fantastic conference, and it really changed my perspective on my business and what I need to do to focus in my business. So that was really like, okay, this is what I'm doing is right. And everyone I talked to was like, yeah, I see your passion, I see your need, I see like what you want to do, and this is perfect for you. So that is how, like, it was just like reaffirming for myself, reaffirming for my business, and I just felt happier. I already feel happier. And doing this podcast is something that I've wanted to do for a while, but really couldn't find the right fit or right time, because it felt like I had to do all these other things that really aren't that important in the grand scheme of things. This is one of my projects that I want to connect all of us together, and have this community that a lot of other people may not be able to get access to. So you have this community here with us. So that's how this change and shift has been good. And I think a lot of people in business feel really scared to go into a change, or even a drastic change like this. And I feel that they may feel that they're so stuck in what they're doing that they can't change. And I believe if it's really meant for you, and it's meant to be a good change, that you should do it. You should make that jump. And if it's going to make you happy, and you feel like this is where your business is heading, then you totally should. I mean, this transition for me wasn't totally out of the blue. Back in the winter, I was experimenting a little bit with branding photography. So I did have a lot of those type sessions under my belt. So I kind of knew what I was getting into, but really making that full transition of like, I'm only doing branding photography and influencer photography, and that's it. Like, I'm not going to do weddings. I'm not going to do other portrait sessions. Like, this is it, which is so relieving. It takes a giant weight off my shoulders, and I just feel so happy making this change. And honestly, if that's what you are, if anyone out there is thinking about making a change in their business or their life, you really should kind of dip your toes into it, or at least kind of did what I did, dip my toes in it a little bit. But if you really feel like it's going to make you happy, that's what you should go for, and that's what you should do, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to make you happy. You don't want to be stuck in something that's going to make you really upset or frustrated or tired, and kind of make you question why you even did this in the first place. So, because these businesses are our babies. We're the ones who started them. We're probably the only ones who are running them, unless you have a small team, which good for you, because I don't have that. And it's our blood, sweat, and tears that are going into these. So we really should be doing something that we're passionate about, because if that's your goal, to make this your full-time career, your full-time job, then you should really be doing something that you can see yourself doing for a while and you'll be happy doing for a while, and that's your thing, that's your shtick, that's what you're going for. So I really encourage you to think about things that you may not be happy about in your life and what may or may not be working, because you don't want to live unhappy. And don't be afraid of change. Change is okay. Change is good. I mean, I lived in Wisconsin for 24 years of my life, and I moved to Nashville, and that was a pretty big change. And that's okay. And I feel better for it. I feel like I've thrived more for it. And who knows where my journey and my life is going to take me, if I'm going to move more or what have you. And I'm excited for it and I'm ready for it. And I think a big part about change is people are nervous that people are going to receive it differently or not receive it as well as they hope that they are. Like if your clients don't receive it well. But at the end of the day, your clients and your customers and your audience should be happy for you if you feel really happy about this change, if this is what you want to go for. Because at the end of the day, if they're not supportive, then they aren't worth it. Because the people who are supporting you and following you, those are the ones who are going to stick around, even through good things. And if this change is happy and exciting to you, those are the people that are going to be excited and happy for you. So don't be afraid about change. So I'm going to challenge you guys to think of things that you may want to change in your life, or you're scared about changing in your life that you want to change, or feel that you need a change in. Kind of think about those things and see where you can challenge yourself to change and shift, because you never know. You could surprise yourself on how amazing it could actually be to make that change and to make it feel so great in your life. And who knows what it can blossom into, because this shift, I feel like, is going to make a lot of other things happen for me. And I know this shift to move here has made a lot of other things happen for me. Because if I didn't move here, I don't think I would be in this, making my business specifically branding photography. I don't think that would have been the case. I think a lot of things would be very different than where they are right now. So that is my challenge for you guys. Until next time, bye guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening to today's podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you leave a review, because that really helps us grow the show. If you want to continue to support this podcast, head over to our Patreon from the link in the description or the link in the show notes, where you can sign up for one of 3 tiers where you get exclusive merch, a direct line to me to tell me who I should have on the show, as well as getting to hear and see the podcast days before it releases to the public. I'm so excited for all the other exciting things that I'm going to be sharing with my patrons, and I can't wait to see you there. This podcast is also sponsored by HoneyBook. HoneyBook is an amazing client management service that I've been using for years, and they are absolutely incredible. They are so incredible that they're giving you guys an exclusive deal for 50% off your first year with them. That is a $200 savings, which is so crazy and so amazing. So you guys should head over to the link in the description or the link in the show notes to grab that amazing deal. This podcast is edited and produced by Earbrads. You can find them at Earbrads on Instagram or at earbrads.com. You can find me at Vanessa Jordan Photo on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. And you can also find me on my YouTube channel, Vanessa Jordan Photography, if you are listening to the podcast version and not watching the YouTube version of this podcast. And you can also find me at vanessajordanphotograph.com. And until next time, I cannot wait to create some amazing conversations with you.